Hey guys, it is currently 5:44 p.m. on August 29th, and I am just taking it very slow today. I just feel like I've been working way too hard on everything, and the last thing I want right now is to completely burn myself out. So I spent most of the morning alternating between reading, watching YouTube, and working on The Painter, which is book 5 in the Bo Austin Taylor series, and I managed to write 876 words. Which, because I'm already at 15,000 so far, it's not too bad. I've been working on this one since, what day is that? August 20th, so technically 10 days, which isn't terrible. I feel like I'm finally getting back on track with the Bo Austin Taylor books and getting back to where I used to be. I used to be able to write one of them in a month. So I'm just taking it easy today. I don't want to stress my wrist too much. I don't want to stress my brain too much. So I'm going to work on Painter until this chapter's done, and then depending on how I'm feeling, I might start another chapter in The Painter, and if not, I will move on to a little bit in Letters from a Madman, and then go from there. But I will just do my best to keep you guys updated on anything mildly important. But I think I'm going to take it slow for the rest of the week, just so that way I don't entirely burn myself out. But I will see you guys when I accomplish something. Alrighty, so it is 3:24 in the morning on Thursday, and I haven't added anything more to the notes since you last saw them, but I just wrote the scene in The Painter where this grid has started to come in handy, and I had to figure out, because he's Bo, the other lengths of this. So if this were a triangle, this is basically the hypotenuse, and these two are the legs, and I didn't have the leg lengths, so I had to go ahead and figure those out. So I did the Pythagorean theorem over here, and then I added it down here, just so that way I had it in this form, and then I also went ahead and calculated it as closely as I possibly could to the actual foot and inches that it would be. Because Bo likes to list things in feet and centimeters depending on who he's talking to and depending on if he's just thinking about something to himself. But all of these are done to scale, so this was relatively easy to do. I figured out this one first because I knew it would be the easiest number. This one took a bit longer, but I did get there. So I'm working on chapter 10 of The Painter at the moment, and then I might take a few more notes and then either move on to chapter 11 of The Painter or see if I can make even a little bit of progress in Letters from a Madman. I think I was maybe like a fourth of the way through a chapter when I last left off, just based on word count, but I will let you guys know for sure later. And I will probably also do a video of this in general for book research, but for now I'll just skim over it and give you the basis every now and then. Alrighty, it is 4:25 a.m. and I finished chapter 10 of The Painter at 4:06 with 1,770 words. I think that's the whole chapter. I don't think I was doing anything on it yesterday. But I ended up finishing the notes over here, which were just the 5 steps of excavation. There is a lot more information in the PDF that I was taking notes from. This is the only one that specifically pertains to the scene that I was writing. And then over here on Letters from a Madman, I'm going to get back to that here in a few, but I am on chapter 12. I am going to take a quick break. I'm normally watching YouTube while I am writing, which is what I've been doing, but I am going to just take a break for maybe 15-20 minutes and then get into working on Letters from a Madman, and then I will update you guys. Alrighty, so I just finished adding the last 200 or so words to chapter 12 of Letters from a Madman. That chapter was from Taki's point of view, and now I am working on chapter 13, which is from her partner, Hilo's point of view. So I'm just going to work on it for a little bit and see if I can't get it past 16,000 words today. I don't know if that will be possible, but we will see, and then I will move on to Tito Vito. Alright, so I just broke 16,000 on Letters from a Madman, which was just another over 200 words. I'm going to start moving some of my stuff into my room. Nowadays, I don't bring my tablet back there anymore, just so that way I'm not writing. It's one of the few times that I force myself to take a break from it. So, I've been staying awake until about 8 o'clock, so I'm probably going to take 1984 back there, and probably this, so that way if I want to do any drawing I can. But once I wake up, the next thing that I will be working on is Tito Vito, in which case I will give you guys a quick update once I accomplish something in there.
Hey guys, it is about 4:15 at the moment, and I forced myself to sleep in because I did not manage to fall asleep until well after 9 o'clock, but I'm going to do the dishes and then move all my stuff from the living room back into my mom's room so that way I can work on my books and possibly editing and all that fun jazz. I think I'm going to switch between my written works and editing Ashes in the Light, but we will see. I have extended the date for Ashes in the Light to Monday, I think, which is editing like 5,500 words a day or something like that. And I don't know if that's totally possible at the moment, but we will see. I also need to edit the gaming video for Friday, so I will also be doing that in between, which then just means that I won't be able to use my tablet for a little while, but I will be primarily doing most of my work on the computer. But I will just update you guys on the word count and everything once I accomplish something.
Hey guys, it is 1:28 in the morning on August 31st. I just finished reading through a scene that a writer that I have met through Twitter sent me in hopes that I would be able to offer some sort of feedback or helpful advice or anything like that. It was a courtroom scene, and I have written my fair share of those at this point, so I'm hoping that I was able to offer something at least mildly useful. But at the moment, I am uploading Dying Light part 8, I think, for today's Friday video, but it's 39% of the way uploaded, which usually means that it will not be done by the end of today, but we will see. I'll leave my tablet on through the night if I absolutely have to, despite how much I hate leaving it plugged in, but one night isn't going to kill it. I'm going to get back to working on Hearts and Roses. I'm in the middle of Ashton's chapter, and by in the middle, I mean I think pretty close to the end. But I haven't finished that yet, so that's my goal for today, I think, and then possibly start Dom's chapter and go from there. So, my main goal is just going to be to attempt to go to sleep before 6 o'clock. I have a very hard time falling asleep that, early, which sounds weird, but I normally have to train myself to fall asleep at 6 instead of 8, but that is the plan. I'm going to work on Hearts and Roses for a while, and then if I feel bored of it or satisfied with any progress I've made, I will move on to Feckenhauer and go from there. The goal for today is to get Feckenhauer to 12,000 words, and it's currently at 11,700-ish, so I will probably just finish Ashton's chapter of Hearts and Roses and then move on to Feckenhauer to get it to its goal for the day, and then move on from there. But either way, if anything super thrilling or exciting happens, I will update you guys at some point. Alrighty, so Hearts and Roses progress, 2:41 a.m. I entered My final entry there made it up to 47,030 words. Feckenhauer, I entered my last one at 3:33 a.m., made it up to 12,040 words. And then Grim Reaper, I just met the first milestone for this book, 40,000 words. This is just the rewrite, but I just finished doing that one, and I wrote 1,423 words there. I'm not done with the chapter that I'm working on over here, which I think is like chapter 18 or something. Yeah, but the rewrite has been hellish every now and then, but it went surprisingly well so far tonight. I will say that there are a lot of chapters in the original of this book, and I can't remember how long this book is, but I think that I'm going to divide it into more books because I know that things are going to change, and I won't be doing anything for the sense of drama like I used to do when I wrote this book. So there are going to be a lot of things that change, which I think will give me a reason to split one of the other characters' control of a family to a different book. Grim Reaper is about Caleb Grimm. The next book will presumably be titled appropriately for the next character, but we will see. I think it just depends on how everything goes, because this time around I'm letting the characters do their thing instead of controlling what they do. So I'm hoping that everything goes so much better than it did in the original. But at this point, the next thing that I would be doing is editing Ashes in the Light, and I 100% don't want to do that right now. So I think I'm going to just take a break for a little while, finish this YouTube video that I've been watching, and finish my coffee, and then I might try to go to bed much earlier, which will mostly just be me laying down and staring at the ceiling for a while. But the longer I stare at the ceiling, the quicker I will hopefully fall asleep. But we will see what progress I make. I probably won't be doing much editing on this because I hate editing when it's just my tablet and my phone, and I don't do, I let my mom have the computer when she's home, obviously. So I shall see you eventually. Alrighty, it is 1:09 in the morning on September 1st. I was at my grandparents' for my mom's birthday most of the evening, but I did do some writing in Pittman's Legend and Calvin before we went over there. Pittman's Legend, I wrote 128 words, which brought me a little over 55,000 words, and on Calvin, I wrote 94 words, which brought me to 21,200 words. I had plans to work on the painter when I was over there, but honestly, I was just having a really good time, which normally doesn't happen when I leave the house. I mean, my grandparents just live literally right next door. We live on the same plot of land, but we were telling stories and ghost stories, and it was really fun. But since I didn't write any chapters yesterday, I think, hold on, maybe, there we go. Yeah, I didn't write a chapter yesterday. So my goal today is to write 2 chapters. I do think that because my sister's here this weekend, I believe that we are going shopping. So I'm going to try and do that before we leave the house much later in the day, obviously. But I've had a really good flow going with this book so far, so the hope is to keep that up. So I'm going to attempt to write 2 chapters, and I will update you guys at some point. Alright, it is currently 4:23 in the morning, and I have literally only succeeded in writing a little over 600 words so far in the painter. It is not going very well, but I'm doing what I can. I think I'm going to take a little break and see if that helps. Sometimes, because I wasn't writing most of the day, sometimes that can affect it, and other times it's just because I'm a little more stressed out than usual, or a whole bunch of other things play into it. But I am seeing what I can get done. I would like to complete at least 1 chapter before I go to bed. Presumably I have about 3.5 hours or so before I go to bed, so fingers crossed I can at least work on one chapter after a little tiny break. I don't know if that break will involve moving to a different book, or if I will try to write a short story for a writing competition on the Discord server that I'm on, but I'm hoping that something will just engage whatever gears are supposed to be turning in my mind, and see if Bo is willing to talk some more for this chapter. Alrighty, so it's been a little over an hour. It's 5:29. I did write the short story sort of thing, flash fiction technically, for the writing competition, which ends later on today, and then voting is through the weekend, and it ends sometime Sunday, I think. I've only entered it once before because it's not something that I really care that much about, but it gave my brain something to do. But book stuff just isn't coming to me right now, so I think I'm just going to say screw it, call it a night, and go to bed and see what happens. Hopefully I will be able to come back to it in the morning or afternoon or sometime with greater success. I know this is going to irritate the hell out of me and that I probably won't be able to sleep much, but I am going to try, and then hopefully after sleeping for a few hours something will come through a bit clearer. But it just feels like Bo is not talking to me right now, so if nothing else I might just have to switch to a new story after I wake up and go from there. But either way, as far as I know, we are going shopping later today, so I will be gone most of the day, but I will still be attempting to write, and if that's the case, I will update you guys either sometime after we come home or sometime Sunday morning. But I shall see you then.